Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
So much has happened since the Super Bowl was last in this part of the U.S. in the early 90s. The Rams and Chargers have both returned to L.A., and they've constructed this incredible new palace for football, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And it will be the scene tonight for Super Bowl 56. And what a matchup we have. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champions Cincinnati Bengals taking on the NFC champions, the Los Angeles Rams. Brandon Gaudin joined by my good friend Charles Davis. And Charles, it was maybe the most unlikely Super Bowl run we've seen in a long time. What a story. The Bengals had not won a playoff game since January of 1991. 4-11-1 last year, 2-14 the season before that. Bottom line, though, here they are, the AFC champs.
And Brandon, this is one of the more remarkable turnarounds in NFL history in recent years. In fact, most of the guys on this team weren't even born the last time they won a playoff game. Although, not that long ago, they had a stretch where they were in the playoffs seemingly every year, but couldn't win a playoff game. Now they've gotten that done. They're back in the Super Bowl. And remember, 2 Super Bowl appearances in their history, number 16 and 23. Unfortunately, both times they ran into Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers.
Meanwhile, the L.A. Rams, they are back in the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. Remember, they lost Super Bowl 53 to the Patriots in Atlanta 13-3. But here they are trying to be the second team in 2 years after Tampa Bay last year to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
And we go back to that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots, and remember, they were an offensive juggernaut at that time, but only put up 3 points in that game. And they have been a little bit of a tough team to pin down over the last few years. They've had their shares of ups and downs, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but they've always had that great defense, and they're looking to ride that crew to a Super Bowl crown.
From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 13th NFL season now. It's Matthew Stafford.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Now Stafford. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
On third down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the first down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here first and 10 at about the 32. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
First and 10, Joe Burrow. Open man is Uzomah. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Burrow. Keeps himself upright, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
2nd and 11. Jet sweep. Boyd with it. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Going to run the sweep here. This is Kupp. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the 1st quarter play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Stafford. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Mixon. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
So on fourth down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep, Brandon Powell. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Play action. Stafford. He completes it to Beckham.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And he takes a shot on the Rizzi, incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
To throw again on second down. Stafford. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw, Stafford. He'll dump this off to Akers. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again is Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing is Stafford. pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. And they're staring up at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everybody to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense, just a lone field goal in that first half, and as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Taking it about the 1. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And I think to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. Sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half. Puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. A handoff to Mixon. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins, and that'll be incomplete. Now they took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Here's Powell on the return. call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here for the 1st and 10. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll go again here with Akers. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now Stafford. It's caught by OBJ. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Stafford.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
3rd quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10.
Here's Stafford.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Cincinnati set to take over once again.
And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They begin with a run by Mixon. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. on the chains now, 2nd and 2. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
6 yards left on 2nd down. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. McPherson's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here's McPherson now to send it away. On the return is Brandon Powell. And able to get this out to the 25. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And we're at the time of this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Stafford. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stafford.
He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
To the air again, Stafford.
Looking underneath, he's got Akers.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Back to throw again. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
B.J. Hill in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Middle of the field to Jefferson. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Stafford now to throw. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked him a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
What a Super Bowl this has been, and the biggest play comes now. It's 4th down. Touchdown, Rams! With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Rams are an extra point away from taking the lead in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
Now the biggest extra point of this man's life. And it is good, and his guys have taken the lead in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So Burrow and the Bengals down 7-6. Less than 90 seconds to go. A field goal wins the Super Bowl, but work to do here on 1st and 10. Throwing, Burrow. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think that part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And his throw here is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now Burrow. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Burrow. Now he's forced out left. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
To throw, Burrow. Able to find Higgins. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Burrow. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now it's Burrow. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.